My friends, miscarriages are a terrible to pregnancy, but it's so rarely talked about. Women don't speak about it much. Now, the women, those who suffered the miscarriage, just don't speak about it often. Just imagine how much less men speak about miscarriages. Men often shut down when a miscarriage happens. Don't Men don't feel like they have a right to share their pain. What they see themselves is, I wasn't carrying the child. Who am I to be complaining about what's happened to my body? But they still feel sadness and loss. Oftentimes, the person that they love suffering in response to the miscarriage, seeing potential shame or confusion, and sadness in their partner, in their wife. And beautiful that men are taking that caring role first as the first move. That's how it's a very loving action. But in response, providing care for their wife or girlfriend or partner, they don't want to then add to the weight of the loss. They don't want to become a burden. So men suffer in silence. They don't think about it with other men. They don't think about it with partner. They're not going to go tell their families. Oftentimes people keep pregnancy secret for a long period of time, but it doesn't matter that it was kept a secret and the miscarriage happened. There's an opportunity to talk about it. In my experiences, miscarriages don't affect all men equally, just like they don't affect all women equally. But I have observed that better fathers or fathers are more deeply affected when a miscarriage happens. Yes, better father feel more loss to what has happened. Imagine the outset of discovering pregnancy. This good father to be, it's excited. Our dreams are coming true. We're having a child and it's real and it's inside your tummy and it's alive and it's growing. You see this kind of father, this great father start putting their head to the belly, trying to bond with baby immediately, the kind of gain recognition. You want the baby to hear his voice, maybe his laughter, maybe just pressing against mommy's belly is almost as if allowing the baby and dad to touch and connect. This is what's happening with a good father to be before the miscarriage happens. But then the tragedy sets, the miscarriage happens. And then the man feels abandoned, feels isolated, feels alone. He doesn't know what to do with these feelings. Thoughts start entering his mind. He starts shaming himself for even being sad. No, the baby wasn't born. I don't understand why I'm so sad. I understand that my wife might be sad. She was carrying the baby. She had a better bond. They were more deeply connected than what about. All that is nonsense. The baby was real in your life. You start to develop dreams, right? You start envisioning all the different things you're going to purchase. All the stuff that you're doing leading to the moment having this pregnancy was now real. Now you can start considering a baby shower. Now names become more real. There's a timeline. You did all those bonding activities, but you're sad. And there's no one to talk to about this. My friends, you must talk about it. The real loss that you experience. It's something that requires healing. The type of good father that I'm describing, the type of father that's really excited to parent together with their wife, or the healing is often only one-sided because of the shame that men feel or undeservedness of their own pain. They deserve that pain because you put a lot of effort in as well. Your dreams will also crush. I need you to share your losses with those closest to you, not just your wife, the person that was carrying the child. And imagine a situation where you had this dream where, hey, our kids are going to be born together. Go to school, we can sign them up for sports together. You know, me and you are best friends, and now our kids can be best friends. But now I had a miscarriage. My friend's life is proceeding. My dreams are currently lost. That's a lot of sadness. All the time bonded. Men, I want you to know that the more you bond it, the more it's going to hurt. And there's no better way to be. Imagine the opposite when your wife was pregnant, whatever, that's just the woman's. It has nothing to do with me. I'll bond with the child later, maybe after it's born, or maybe when they're teenagers. The wife will handle it the entire time. I don't need to be involved. No vulnerability, no connection, no care for the mom in the story. Therefore, no care for the child. Therefore, no impact on a miscarriage. No impact on that man's miscarriage. That's a terrible way to be, right? What I'm describing is a terrible father and a terrible husband. If you're a good husband, you're a good father, miscarriages hurt, and you're not alone in that pain because miscarriages happen so much. No one talks about it. And the main reason why you need to talk about this, aside from the immediate healing that you need to have, I don't believe that your dream of having another child is gone. Now imagine both of you are suffering loss, but don't want to do any grieving. How much harder will it be to get pregnant again? How much distance will occur between the two of you that want to parent together. There might be a distance set because of people getting pregnant. Once you are pregnant, there might not be that joy that you had before. Imagine that. Does that child deserve, the one after the miscarriage, does that child deserve your neglect because of your pain? Well, that child deserves the same enthusiasm, the same energy, the same desire to connect, even if it hurts. Even if it hurt the first time, even if it hurt the second time, you cannot give up. You need to process your pain and focus on connecting with that child. The longer you take to keep, the harder it will be to get pregnant again. And it'll be harder for you to live out the vision of being the father that you want to be. But remember, it only hurts you because you're going to be a fantastic father, because you care, right? The characteristics you're displaying with the child in the womb speak volumes to the father you're going to be when the child is outside of it. So you're hurting because you're sensitive, but you have emotions. Not that you're weak, because you're strong. A strong father is one that's willing to love. You're engaged in the whole process. Like the good father is really excited about all of this. Remember, when I was describing the man that's not going to be hurt by a miscarriage, he's not the one that really cares to go to any appointments, not checking in. He's certainly not going to track an app on the growth of the child or look at the ultrasound images with the same zeal as the one that's crushed when a miscarriage happens. Remember, you're hurting because you value your relationships with others. You value your connection and your relationship with your wife, and you value the relationship with your child, even though it's not yet born. These are wonderful traits that you have. It's important that you don't lose capacities of love because you're avoiding the hurt, or you're too ashamed to talk about that there was a miscarriage and you lost something very real. You lost someone very real and you're hurting. I encourage you to hold on to that truth that what you lost was real, because your dreams are real, energy was real, your effort was real. It's documented. It's documented in the book of life. That's what you did. That's the kind of human being you are. That's the kind of father you are to that child that wasn't born. It speaks volumes. It's important that you never lose that smile energy for the sake of all your children. Also for your own joy, your own capacity to re-engage life. Right? It's hard to work when you lose a child to a miscarriage. You need some time off. You need to heal, but you don't know how to talk about it, but that's what you need. Aside from talking about it and talking about the specific dreams, the effort was not wasted. It's incredibly valuable, even though you're suffering loss, because it speaks to who you are and it can reaffirm who you're becoming. Consider a funeral. And I mean that. Consider having a funeral. It's so important. I can tell two stories that shaped me. One was cousin lost, who there would have been a big age gap between him and a younger sibling that he desperately wanted. And he lost that child to a miscarriage. Years later, he ended up getting a tattoo that his lost sibling. Now talk about a bond or a connection there. That's real. That's very real. That's honoring the life that exists. That's honoring his energy. That's honoring the dreams that he had, the prayers that he had for a younger sibling. There's a bravery in owning pain, especially as I think about marking it on his body. He's a role model to me of how to handle pain. He doesn't know that. That one thing taught me. And it's one of the reasons why I'm sharing this with you. Man, I know there's many of you out there. The next time you go to the pub, or the next time you hang out with your friends, or whatever it is that you do, have the courage to open up. Whether the hockey dressing room, if you're in Canada, basketball or football in the States. Don't be afraid to bring up or just drinks after the game. Yet pleasantness of something that you experienced, because you have people in your life that care about you and know the kind of father and man that you are, and they will affirm it for you. Because if they're in your life, odds are they're the kind of men that would have the same kind of reaction, which is crushed and suffering and silence. Don't do that anymore. Keep your head up and let the tears flow.